Hey guys, I'm coming live from work, so thanks for joining me. I just want to post this short introduction of a series that I'm personally looking forward to doing later on this evening, New Zealand time with Carl. We're going to be talking about the key Rolling Stones album, Exile on Main Street. So if you guys have any opinions or any comments you want to make about, that album, drop them below, and I promise Carl and I will mention them and bring them up, and we can talk about them later on in the show. So I suspect the series is going to go on for a couple of shows. It won't be a 1 or 2 part show because there's a lot we want to talk about. We want to talk about what led up to Exile on Main Street. Talk about a lot of the songs because there's a lot of songs there. And we also want to talk about the legacy of that album, which is monumental. So, yeah, if you can join us, that'll be great. I'll put a live notification when I get home. Unfortunately, I can't do that from work, so I'll do that a couple of hours before Carl and I go live. Also, I've had a couple of comments over the last couple of weeks about what Carl and I are trying to do, and I appreciate the kind words and the support that you guys have given us, because after all, we're only music fans. And, you know, we just want to talk about one of the greatest bands that the world's ever seen. But if Carl and I haven't made the connection in previous shows, we're guitar players, and we are certainly music fans. Indeed, it was because of our love of the Stones, the Beatles, Clapton, Buddy Guy, Fleetwood Mac. It was because we heard these guys in the first place that made us want to be guitar players. And I'm sure you've got all similar stories, you know. You hear some cat and you think, wow, you know, I want to play the guitar. So that's an important reason for Carl and I doing this show. We're guitar players, and we want to talk about our understanding of the Rolling Stones, their legacy, their songs and their albums, etc., from a guitar playing perspective. And I think that's a crucial distinction between being a record collector and a music fan. And one of the reasons why, you know, there's a few good books out there, reference books that I use, and I'll mention them on the show this evening. So again, let me give you an example. So you can get books that are going to talk about the Girlfriends, what movies were being released at the time, what the Rolling Stones ate, and conversations that people had with them about the weather, and that's important. But there's also books out there and interviews out there where the Stones talk about how they recorded a song, the chords that went into the song, the versions, different versions of a song, whether it was played originally in standard tuning and then Keith played it in open E or in open G. Who played slide on what track. The guitar that Mick Taylor would have used on a track, and the amplifiers. So we want to talk about that because that's what guitar players want to hear, and we probably didn't have enough of that information to talk about that when we were talking about the Blues Giants in Chicago, that series, but we certainly have that information available to us now that we can elaborate and discuss and talk about in this series. So hopefully that's going to be interesting for you guys. And I'm looking forward to it too, because while I've read a little bit, I haven't read a lot. And, you know, doing these weekly shows forces you to put some time aside to do some research and some study. So, yeah, we'll catch you guys later. Thanks.